Well, one of my favorite people is here today. We're going to be talking to Ted McGinley from one of my favorite shows, Shrinking, on Apple TV Plus. Looking forward to that. Then we're going to break down the Emmys. I'll tell you everything that's going to happen. Darren Karp is in the house. We're going to break down. But first, Darren, hey, we got to talk about Hooters. This is Hot Mics with Billy Bush, presented by our friends at LA Golf. Hot Mics with Billy Bush. Great time. You know it. We are live on TuneIn and YouTube. It's Hot Mics. Hello. Everybody is asking the question, what will Ted McGinley from Shrinking on Apple TV Plus be wearing to the Emmys this weekend? Okay, nobody's asking that question, not even his wife. But I do love this show, and I love dopey, delightful Derek. He's just the sweetest guy next door. We all want that dude for a neighbor. Question for the ladies. If you had to have a current television husband as your real-life husband, who would it be? I mean, he could be in the running there. We'll talk to Ted about showbiz, the Emmys, and life after the L.A. fires. When the Palisades was burning, I took Ted up into the area with my press pass. I got to drive up, and it was the day after. The fires were still ravaging homes all around his. But we went to help save his wife's paintings and his vintage Porsche convertibles he's had since college. Oh, the dates that Ted must have had in those. Wow. But first, we're going to welcome our great friend Darren Karp for Hot Mics, Hot Takes, the Emmys. I want to talk about your boss, Andy Cohen's stunt with Howard Stern. But first, do you like Hooters?
I've actually never been. I have never frequented it, but my mom was like, they have great wings. Like she was the one who encouraged me. My brother didn't, my dad didn't. It was my mom. She was like, you should go. They have great wings. I love a chicken wing.
Oh, you're talking about the restaurant. No, I'm kidding. No, of course. Of course we did. They're getting a major enhancement at Hooters. Sales were sagging. Interest was flat. They plunged into bankruptcy. Known as the original restaurant. Hooters is back, but according to the new CEO of the management company overseeing the revamped chain, you're not going to see a bunch of butt cheeks hanging out, he said. Well, there's always Chili's, right?
There's always Chili's. Right? There's always Applebee's, my friend.
Hanging out not the way you want, though, over at Chili's. Do you ever go to
Chili's? I've been to Chili's.
Yeah, I go to them all.
Yeah, they're great. I don't know. Like, if it has good food, I'm there. That's what I'm going for, the food, honestly.
My girlfriend's a bit of a fancy woman. She's in a gal about town. Yeah. I said, hey, we're going. She goes, where are we going tonight for dinner? I said, we're going to this new place. It's called Bennigan's. She goes, ooh, like, where is it? Is it West Hollywood? Is it in Santa Monica? And I'm like, just Google it. Yeah. It's everywhere.
It's in every strip mall across America.
I love it. Anyway, Hooters started as an April Fool's joke between six buddies. They've been through a lot. They had harassment suits that you knew would come. Guys get too drunk and they're, hassling the servers. But they're putting Hooters back in business, and just hurry it up. It's football season. They're going to renovate the buildings with a beach-themed Oasis vibe. They're going to tighten the exhaustive menu. It's too long. They're going to that's true. Turn it into a place where men come for beer and wings, but they also want families coming in for curly fries and chicken strips. So what will the servers wear now? Well, the new guy in charge says orange shorts, but not the bikini cut that some locations adopted several years ago. Men are allowed to work there. They're not servers, okay? Listen, no male cheerleaders is their point. Applicants' qualifications, if you want to apply, it says glamorous hairstyling and an ability to maintain an attractive fit and image. In other words, not just the wings are hot, so I think they're trying to walk the line here. Darren, is this a place that you would go to have wings and a beer or not really?
I would go there because I heard the wings are good. That's why I would go there. To me, it's like, this is kind of what happened to Cracker Barrel. Just lean into the theme you got. It's named Hooters. I don't know why we want to make this a family restaurant. I sort of understand wanting more people. I get that. Why not? And if you are so inclined to bring your family to Hooters or your bougie girlfriend to Hooters, go for it. I don't feel this is like all voluntary. That's what I don't get. No one's being forced to go, and no one's being forced to work there. So, like, lean into the theme. We're going there to have some wings and some boobs. All right. Okay. I'm good with that. I'm good.
Part of the rehooterization also was the upgrading to grade A butter in the buffalo sauce. Okay, what were you soaking them in before? Lard? Was it... don't ever tell me we soak our wings in grade B butter.
I'm just thinking, what is grade B? Because if you're thinking about like sanitary conditions, I will not go into a restaurant with a B.
No.
Let alone lower. So, yeah, it makes me wonder what they were doing before.
Maybe a chicken sandwich, but definitely like high quality, a lot of meat, not so much. Nothing worse when you pull a wing, you've had a chicken wing, and you take it out, and it's like stretching this fat skin.
The gristle, and it's just hard to chew. No. Moist, juicy, crispy, saucy.
And it's amazing we call them wings, but my favorite part is the drummy.
The drummy. Yeah, well, it's got the most meat.
Yeah.
It's the best ratio.
So I would do more drummies than wings. Leave Buffalo Wild Wings to do like the drippy, like Asian fusion sauce and all that, like heavy, thick lacquer.
Yeah, it's like a rib. It's like
stick
everywhere.
Buffalo, stick orange. Everything about you is orange. And forget the families. They can go to Fridays and Bennigan's, and men and college kids are the target. This is Trump's America right now. Do not woke up Hooters. It just so happens that you also share the president's favorite color, orange. Let's be real, okay?
That says something. That says something to me. Taylor Swift likes orange too.
Billy,
just saying.
Billy, we have someone here who recently has been to a Hooters.
Oh.
Yes, Mr. Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel going to Hooters.
I love the
Does
chicken
Mrs.
wings.
Mandel know this, that you went to Hooters?
Yeah. No, she knew. She knows how much I care for wings. I actually went, I was touring, and I was in Atlantic City last week, and I did not know that Hooters still existed. I saw one. I went in. And it's funny that you should talk about the orange shorts. The only difference I noticed was the women were wearing black shorts.
What?
They weren't wearing orange shorts. They were wearing black shorts. And
is that the away jersey?
I have no idea what I was looking at. I didn't. You know, it's weird. I went in to see it. I wasn't hungry. I had just finished lunch. I felt so awkward just standing there. They go, "Can we seat you?" And I said, "No, I'm just looking," which is not what you should be saying, but especially when you're on family television like I am. But I have an admiration for this because before diversity was even an issue and the woke were taking over the world, my son was hammering away at Hooters for their no attempt at diversity, and he got hired there. This is actually 9 years ago. Alex Mandel, who worked here, there he is. Can you see him?
Oh.
Wait, he's right next. Alex is in there, isn't he?
No, he's working. He's busy in a production.
Does he know that you just provided that photo for us?
No,
that's
he doesn't know, but I'm sure he'll
excellent.
be proud. He's always been a go-getter, and that was before it wasn't. And we still don't know. And I wanted to put up his picture because to this day he is still single. So I just thought maybe this is another.
Listen, I like wings and I like drummies, but take one look at those thighs.
Woo.
And
My
I'm
son's thighs.
gonna say,
changing my
don't
sexuality.
Hey, his eyes are up here, Billy. Don't look at my son's thighs.
oh my God, he's wearing a set of
That's my boy.
Yeah.
That is my boy. See what I give you? Tit for tat.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's going to learn about this the hard
I know.
way.
He's not going to be happy with me, so I'm going to leave now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bye.
Those shorts he's wearing are called cheap hotels, no ballroom inside. Anyway, Decarp.
Yes.
Now that we've settled that, Hooters, stay in your darn lane. Let's get to the Emmys.
Let's do it.
The Emmys are coming up. It's going to be an interesting weekend at the Emmys. I mean, let's just take a look at some of these categories. Right into it with Best Drama Series. Andor. This is in the Star Wars.
People love this type of thing, though. It's not
gonna-
me, but people love it, and they said it was good. That's what I go on.
Yeah, but the Academy's not voting for
No.
that. You got Andor, The Last of Us, The Diplomat, Paradise, The Pit, Severance, Slow Horses, The White Lotus.
I've watched all of them except Andor, so I feel like I can actually talk about what I think will win.
What do you think?
Slow Horses and Severance, I feel like, are big favorites this year. They were great seasons. I don't think that they should win, in my personal opinion. I thought the knockout drama series of this season was The Pitt.
That's it.
And I want The Pitt to win.
The Pitt is going to win. I am sure of it. And they love a return. And Noah Wiley, a valiant return by Noah. The Academy loves him from the ER days.
Yeah.
I think that's going to win. I also think Noah himself is going to win.
I really think that too. I think that's bound to happen. But the Academy just really loves Severance. They just love Severance, and I could see them going for it. I don't think White Lotus will win, even though that's a favorite usually, because I think it got in the reviews for this last season. But Severance, I could see being a runner-up.
Yep, White Lotus. White Lotus will take something, and we'll get to that in a minute. One guest actor, I'm pretty sure, is going to win from that. But best comedy series, the one that really broke through and had everybody talking was from Netflix.
Nobody Wants This. That was massive. People really liked it. I don't think it's going to win. I think it's a really solid runner-up.
Really?
The show that everyone, I think, was talking about was The Studio. How funny that was. To be honest with you, I thought it only really ramped up in the last 3 episodes, so I wasn't a big fan. I don't consider The Bear a comedy, so I don't think it should ever really win in the bear category, in the comedy category. I hope kind of Hacks wins. It's been taking it the past few years. I liked Hacks. I wouldn't mind seeing it win. It's great.
I think the studio took an interesting approach to trying to win this award by casting every voter in it. Right?
I mean, they even do an episode kind of about, Saul Saperstein, like they do. It's like, oh, thank you. It's about how Hollywood is. So yes, they did a good job of casting a wide net with that.
Not since Tim Robbins and The Player have there been so many celebrities and actors stuffed into this thing. Does it get him the win? Okay, it's either that or Nobody Wants This. I'm going to differ with you and say Nobody Wants This.
Okay, let's see.
And I think the Emmy wants this. Best limited anthology series. I don't usually include something like this, but Adolescence was such a major breakthrough. It's going to win that and a lot of other things.
It'll probably win any category it pretty much is involved in. The lead actor role, for sure, he's going to get it. People loved it. That single shot, 4-episode anthology, limited series. They really did a good job of it. Dying for Sex was very good. I think that's a sort of backup if any one of these was going to take it. And people love The Penguin. But I just think Adolescence, kind of a one-time thing. The Academy's going to really honor it.
And the brilliance of shooting one continuous shot through the whole episode. That's impossible to accomplish.
Yeah.
And they did. And this guy that wrote it, created, and starred in it with the young boy, but Stephen Graham is the guy that wrote it.
Yeah, he's gonna win.
He's definitely gonna win. The reality competition program, The Amazing Race won forever. Then RuPaul won for a long time. Top Chef won for a long time.
Well, Top Chef has been losing to Amazing Race, but I believe we beat The Amazing Race in 2011, which was a big year for Bravo. I hope it's The Traitors.
It's going to be The Traitors.
You think over Amazing Race?
I do, 100%. The Traitors really got everybody talking. I think it originated in the UK.
It did. I just can't, because Amazing Race is such a feat, spanning 15 countries sometimes. You got to get the flights coordinated, got to get the camera guys coordinated. So much goes into it. I can't tell how much of it the Academy really appreciates that versus hype. Because if it's hype, Traitors all the way. I mean, people are dying to get on The Traitors.
I think it's time for something new. I think The Traitors does it. Best talk series, not something new. I think The Daily Show is just brilliant.
Yeah. The only reason I could say Colbert would take it is only because of what's been kind of going down. But I can't tell when voting closed. I don't remember when voting closed versus that announcement. I don't remember.
I think voting was open when he had his fallout with the Trumpster.
So if voting was open, I could see people just giving him the gimme kind of thing, even though it probably should be The Daily Show.
In a scripted variety series, do you like John Oliver versus Saturday Night Live? It's basically what you're saying is, a team of about 15 writers versus John Oliver and his people, which is mostly John Oliver. But Saturday Night Live had their 50th anniversary. That was
so amazing that I think they're definitely going to honor it. Although I think John Oliver, he just does, the fact that these are kind of sort of on the same par. It's a question of if you appreciate the production or you appreciate kind of the quality that you're getting, because John Oliver does a lot of these like elaborate pranks of buying the home, buying Yankee seats right behind home plate and dressing up in outfits. I mean, he does elaborate news stunts that I think are worth it, but compared to Saturday Night Live, I mean, nothing is Saturday Night Live on
He's won a lot. John Oliver, I just hate it when he rips America.
Well, yeah, I don't like that.
Does it bother you at all? It bothers me that we put so many British people on television here, and they don't put any of us on their television.
Well,
Those snobs, there's no American judge
True.
on
That's
any
true.
of their shows.
That's true. Also, no matter what, say what you will, politics aside, this is the greatest country ever, and I really wouldn't want to live anywhere else. So, I think we got to appreciate that at the end of the day.
But I would like to get on Britain's Got Talent for a minute and be like, you know what, lady from Leeds, you're offbeat. Your tone is terrible. You're no good. I would
Can't
like
understand you.
Let me try to reverse Simon Cowell over there. This rude American who just rips everybody. Okay.
I'm for it, actually, Billy.
To the actors, best actor in a drama series, Sterling K. Brown. They love to honor him. Paradise. You just don't get a better actor than Gary Oldman. He's so amazing in Slow Horses. Adam Scott, you love Severance. They love Severance.
This is a very, very tight category. I could actually see Walton Goggins taking it just because
drama series. This is the best actor.
Yeah, best actor in drama series. I could see people love Gary. I think it should be Noah Wyle.
It's Noah Wyle. He's back. He's Noah Wyle he's a fan. He's been there for a long time. He's gonna honor him.
And Pedro Pascal was really only in the last, spoiler alert, like 3 episodes of The Last of Us. So to me, it's kind of hard to give that with someone like Noah, who was in 15 episodes, 80% of those episodes. The amount that he had to act and the emotion he had to deliver, he deserves it.
It's
for sure.
a workout, that show, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Best actress in a drama series. Now, they love Kathy Bates over there in Matlock.
He's
but
killing it, and I think that they're going to give it to Kathy. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. I just don't watch Matlock. I love Kathy, so I can't say anything wrong, but I got to say, I really did like Kerry Russell in The Diplomat.
I know, that furrowed brow. No one... She's so...
You got a good furrow.
She's always like that.
She was great. I also thought that season was fabulous. We're getting a new season coming up. Allison Janney was in it. This is just a fan favorite. I don't think Carrie will win, but she certainly deserves to.
She's got a love scene in there in the last.
Yeah, she gets a little.
She's so gorgeous. I mean, you know what? She's natural. She hasn't destroyed her face with the needles and the tucks and the.
She doesn't need any makeup.
Yeah.
She doesn't need anything. She's perfect looking.
Totally. Best supporting actor in a drama series. Now, this is the one. Look at all the people from The White Lotus.
This is a very tough category. Yeah, what do we got? 3 actors from The White Lotus. Sam Rockwell could take it. He had such an intense role in The White Lotus, but I could kind of see it going to Walton. I just think he's having his moment right now, and I could just see people being like, I loved him, I love his look, I love his vibe, and he's in every commercial. I could see Walton taking this.
Yeah, Rockwell wasn't in it enough to, even though that one monologue he gave about wanting to be a young Asian hooker.
Yep.
But yet he's a middle-aged white man. That was the weirdest thing I'd ever listened to.
It made everyone pay attention.
It certainly did, but it's not enough. He wasn't in enough, and Goggins definitely is having a moment. Okay, so we like that.
Yeah.
John Turturro, Severance, possibly, but no. Best actor in a limited, and this is the Stephen Graham, who is the writer and creator of Adolescence. He has to win.
He's going to win. I just think... And look, I loved Presume Innocent. And the Academy loves Brian Tyree Henry. He was great in Dope Thief, although the show wasn't that great. But Stephen Graham, given the fact that he was such a star, loved him in Boardwalk, loved him all that stuff. Anything that Adolescence is kind of mentioned in, I think, is going to pretty much take it.
I agree. Best supporting actress in a drama series now. You got The Pit, Catherine Lanassa. They'd like a newcomer every once in a while, but Carrie Coon is a newcomer too, and The White Lotus. And her whole speech that Carrie gave about why she's so bitter with the other two, and what she's been through. She gave an amazing monologue that I think is going to help carry her to the win there.
And she's an excellent actress. She's amazing. I loved her in The Leftovers. I love her in Gilded Age. I'm a big fan of hers, but I think Catherine Lanasa is actually going to take it. I just think for the amount that she was chain smoking in the pit, she plays this really emotional, sort of motherly matriarch kind of figure around the hospital. They love a newcomer. She's great. She's a breakout star.
Okay. All right. Well, and I am watching The Gilded Age right now, by the way. I'm late to that.
Are you starting now or are you caught up?
In large part because of Carrie Coon.
She is
I like her. She's so good.
Bertha is amazing. She's such a perfect bitch in it.
Oh, what a bitch.
And you get History of New York. Big fan of The Gilded Age. Big fan.
Best actress in a comedy series. I see Uzo Aduba making this, and I know it's just.
Really?
But my kids all went crazy for The Residents. They thought it was fun. You're going to take Jean Smart and Hacks because you love Hacks.
I am, and I think she's an Academy darling. I think she's fun. I think she's sort of created this role for herself that's really perfect, and she's witty, and of course that goes along with Hannah Einbinder. I think you can't really have one without the other, Ava in the show. But yeah, I think Jean Smart deserves it and we'll get it.
You know what? I'm going to change mine.
What do you want, Quinta?
No, Kristen Bell. Nobody Wants This. I think we're underestimating the power of Nobody Wants This. Written by Erin Foster, the Foster sisters. The great Steve Levitan of Modern Family.
Absolutely.
In there. This thing was broke records for Netflix. And Kristen Bell, I think she's been around a long time. People want to honor her. I thought her character. I think it's Kristen Bell. And
she's been overlooked before for Veronica Mars and everything. So perhaps this is sort of her time. This is the role that she was sort of meant to play. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I'd be curious, though, to see if she won it over Jean Smart.
Adam Brody, Seth Rogen, Jason Segel, Martin Short, or Jeremy Allen White. First of all, The Bear is not a comedy series.
And I just can't see it as that.
I've never laughed once watching it. I think it's Adam Brody from Nobody Wants This or Seth Rogen in the studio. They may honor Seth for bringing them all together.
I actually think it's going to, even though I really don't like this show, I really don't like it, I don't get it, I think it's going to be Martin Short and Only Murders in the Building just because they love him. He has great one-liners in it. I'm not a fan of the show anymore. I don't even watch, but I just think his repartee with Meryl Streep and, of course, Steve Martin, I could see Martin Short taking this.
I thought seasons 1, 2, and 3 were all great, and I thought 4 was terrible.
It's just the same. It's just, to me, it's the same formula and a little bit. It's just, I watched season 1, I watched season 2, and then I just kind of fell off. But I think he could take it.
Supporting in comedy, do you see a moment for Harrison Ford?
I think he should win because I think he was great in Shrinking. I don't see that moment for him here. Not in comedy. I don't think people are thinking about that as a comedic role, even though it is, and I think he deserves to win. Who I think they'll give it to Ike Barinholtz from the studio, but I think Ebon Moss-Bachrach should actually win. Just, again, it's not a comedy, but the acting that was required in The Bear for him, he's probably one of the most transformative figures right now in television for his character. I could see him taking it.
Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series, Kathryn Hahn from the studio.
She deserves it. I think she was the best part about the studio.
But you love Hannah Einbinder because you love Hacks.
I loved Hacks and I loved Hannah Einbinder, but I gotta be honest. Kathryn Hahn's role in the studio was the most memorable thing. I like Hacks as a show. I don't even like the studio, and I loved Kathryn Hahn in it. So to me, that says something.
Guest actor in a comedy series. It's 5 people from the studio and then John Bernthal from The Bear. So he's not, John Bernthal plays a really depressed, sad character.
Yeah.
It's not funny. And then you got 5 people who should cancel each other out. How about you just give it to Marty Scorsese as an actor? This would be a great moment.
I'd kind of love it if they were just toss it up, give it out to even Ron Howard. It'd be fun to see him kind of come back and I could see them taking it. I think it's going to be Bryan Cranston just because he's great. I love him. He was funny in it. I could see him.
I love his voice. Guest actress in a comedy series. Anything Olivia Colman is in, I like. I think she's an amazing actress. Again, The Bear's not a comedy. What about Cynthia Erivo for Poker Face? Because everything is either Hack Studio or Bear.
Yeah, usually when that happens, I'm going to say Jamie Lee Curtis for The Bear. She's just as an actor, I think in that role specifically.
Still having a moment? Still dominating?
Definitely, 100%. And season 4 of The Bear was one of the best. The penultimate episode of that season was one of the best I've ever seen. Her speech about her own mental instability was one of the best I've ever seen on television.
That is true. Not a comedy, but really well done.
No, not a comedy, no.
actress in the limited anthology. Now you've got Cate Blanchett. I loved Disclaimer.
That was my vote to get the most Emmys, and everyone looked at me like I was crazy in comparison to other things. I loved her in Disclaimer, and I really want her to win. I don't think she's going to win, but I really want her
What about
to
Megan
win.
Fahey from originally we got to know her season 2 of White Lotus, but she was in Sirens.
I know,
and a
Sirens
whacked out
was-
drug.
And she played a good opposite character of what she played in White Lotus, but Sirens was so not good. It just was not a good
wasn't
show. Michelle Williams, Dying for Sex. She was excellent in
You
that.
take Michelle Williams, I take Cate Blanchett, and now we go to the best supporting actor, and the little boy from Adolescence will beat all of these grown-up
will.
men. He will beat Javier Bardem and Bill Camp from Presumed Innocent and Peter Sarsgaard, all of them. Owen Cooper, the little boy, it's his first acting experience.
15, I think, maybe. Yeah, and I think, honestly, every one of those guys want Owen to win. I could just see them all standing up, supporting, especially watching a young kid playing such a severe, really intense, layered role. I think everyone kind of wants him to win anyway.
No question. Supporting actress in the limited or anthology series or movie. His mom, Christine Tremarco. Did she play the mom in Adolescence?
Think so.
Chloe Sevigny, Monsters. I would go with Chloe Sevigny because the Lyle and Eric Menendez story doesn't have much love, and she was phenomenal.
She played the cold-hearted,
Kitty Menendez.
yes, manipulated kind of, deferred to her husband very well. I think Jenny Slate from Dying for Sex is going to get it. Jenny is a really great actress. We've seen her in It Ends With Us, the famous Blake Lively. She was good in it. I know I shouldn't have brought up Blake. I know I shouldn't have brought it up.
Jenny
but
Slate.
She was good in it. She was excellent. And she
Will she step up for Blake Lively and come forward as a witness and say that she was also sexually harassed by Justin Baldoni? Because guess what they did at that company, Wayfarer Studios, when Jenny Slate wanted a different apartment because she felt her child was unsafe in it? They gave her an extra $17,000 a month to move her to wherever she wanted to go. That's not harassment. That is extra consideration that we would all like.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I feel uncomfortable right here. I don't know if I can continue on. Can you provide me with $17K?
Sure.
I could see her getting it for Dying for Sex. She was a really great supporting actress in that. But we'll see. All great categories. All really, really strong this year, I think.
Looking forward to the Emmys. Before we welcome Ted McGinley, I want to ask you, Andy Cohen, your boss, your guy,
Yeah.
your homie. How about the Howard Stern stunt? How long?
Loved it.
How much heads up did Andy have?
Basically it was only a few days and they, asked him and he was game. He's game to do everything. I mean, Andy, it's funny thing is because I think Andy knew the joke was actually on him outside of the audience, because the moment he was like, Patti LuPone is going to be the next guest, the collective sigh of middle America, especially in his fans, was like, oh no, they were blowing up, and Andy knew that. And Howard and Andy have such a great relationship, and Andy loves Howard and is just so respectful to him. And Howard famously is like, I'm never going to be on a show. I'm way too big for your show, and kind of demeans him a little bit.
Yeah.
And Andy kind of takes it because he's like, I'm honored to be demeaned by Howard.
There's Andy Cohen in Howard's seat. Howard's negotiations with SiriusXM are happening now, and he wanted to send the message that, it's not going on. So Andy 100 took over on Sirius, and the listeners lit up the phone. They were pissed off. Andy sacrificed himself for Howard. And guess what? Howard will come on Andy's show to pay him back.
I hope so. We will
Should.
see. That is going to be a massive thing if he does. But Andy has such a great sense of humor. He delivered it just iconically in every sort of way, in that typical Andy thing. And I thought it was a great prank, honestly.
Give him my love.
Will do.
Darren, thanks so much. Hot Mics with Billy Bush, sponsored by LA Golf, the most technologically advanced golf gear on the market. Get more out of your game with LA Golf's advanced ball technology, shaft design, taking your swing the extra distance. I'm going to tell you, 10 to 12 yards in distance and way more accuracy with your swing, the new LA Golf driver. So check it out. All right, a little deeper dive into the Emmys here. Is it the year that Shrinking wins Best Comedy? I'd like to see that. The competition is stiff, But like I said at the top of the show, everybody is wondering, what will Ted McGinley from Shrinking be wearing to the Emmys? He joins us right now for the big reveal. Ted!
It's going to be something really nice from Macy's.
Are you going to do...
I have no idea.
Is it going to be standard black tux, or are you going to put a little flair in there, like a burgundy jacket, maybe a royal blue?
Whatever you got in your closet, you can loan me. I have no clue. Honest to God, it's in a couple days, and I have no idea what I'm wearing.
I love that. And now you know what it's like to be a woman. I think what they're going through, because in our category, nobody gives a shit.
Well, my wife, the lovely Gigi Rice, is now going through that, trying to find dresses, getting ready to go. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, I don't really care. I just put on something and go in. But it is different for the women. They have to really, they care about that dress and it has to fit and all that. I feel for her.
You don't want to end up on the wrong list. You know what I mean? The snarky wrong list of the, ooh,
I've been
that
on
was
that list my
ill-fitting.
whole life. What do I care?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So Ted, the show is, look, two seasons are done. The third season's wrapped, isn't it? But it has.
Yes.
You filmed it.
Yeah.
How do we describe Derek in Shrinking? To me, he's a little dopey, very delightful, lovely, funny. I want to be him in a way. Like, he's got the no care in the world. He's just happy no matter what.
Yeah, he's slightly more complicated than that, but he's a guy that you would love to be friends with. You can trust him, you can count on him. He is thoughtful and caring, and he's a joiner. Like, if you want to try something, he's in. Let's go. Let's do it. He's up for anything. That's my favorite thing about him.
And Bill Lawrence, the creator, you had, I know you did a stint on Scrubs. Bill Lawrence, live sort of near Bill Lawrence. What I love about Bill Lawrence is that he chose you to play the TV husband of his real life wife. So the boss, you can't throw any extra hands in there. You really need to consult the intimacy coordinator.
Yes. Yeah. You have to watch yourself at all times. He's so great. Bill Lawrence literally resurrected, my career at this point. And by simply asking me to walk through a scene, and they thought it was funny, and they kept Derek around, and Derek began to grow with the audience.
Oh, so there was no long-term plan for Derek from the beginning? No.
In fact, that's a great question, because I've always wanted to ask Bill that, and I haven't had the chance yet. Like, did you think, was there a season? If he made it through season one, did you even think about season two for this guy?
Was it mine to blow? Was it mine to screw up?
Yeah. I don't know. I always know that, I didn't know if I was going to be the guy on the other side of the fence the entire time. And they'd be over there doing something, and I'd be cooking burgers in our yard, looking over saying, hey. And finally, people felt sorry for Derek, and they said, invite him in, for God's sake. And it was the greatest thing that ever happened. But Bill, I tested for Scrubs. So it was between myself and John McGinley for that part.
John McGinley and Ted McGinley? So no matter what, it was going to be a McGinley? And it ended up being John McGinley.
Yeah, and it killed me. I've never seen the show.
I had an actor in here, a friend of mine, David Walton, and he had a very raw and vulnerable moment. And he said he went to college with John Krasinski, and they were really good friends. They went on spring break together and the whole thing, and then they both became actors. And David sort of made it first, and then Krasinski made it, and then he really made it and all. So he said, we had this period where we were sort of jealous of each other and kind of fell out. And it led me to this great question of do you have a Krasinski? Is there a guy in your life who you always saw in the audition room and it was either you or him, or at least it felt that way?
It's a good question, Billy. In the day when I was actually in an audition room, and that only means that I still audition, but I don't, not enough. I'm trying to think of one thing I learned very early on, and I don't know how I learned it, but one of the things that I've always found to be an issue with actors is that we compare ourselves constantly to the guy who got the job, or the people. When you get in these rooms and you listen to these guys say, "Oh yeah, I just got back from New York and I was working on this show, and then I'm going to Atlanta," and everybody's got all of this hype going, and I learned to just shut it off and only compete with me.
Yep.
And that's the only thing I've done. And I remove myself from the room. I go in a different area and I just try to focus on what I have to do.
You mentioned something, the life of an actor, Ted. You've been doing this for 45 years. I think 1980 was when Happy Days really sort of took off. So 45 years in October will be your that's an anniversary right there. You started as a model. But anyway, you make it to television. I sort of feel like you've been, chugging along and rocking for 45 years. That's what everyone's impression is. But you mentioned, resurrected my career when you talked about Bill Lawrence. Was it lean? Was there a time where you were like, you know what? That was a good run. I'm done. I'm going to go work in the garage.
No, I've been lucky. I've been very, very lucky that I have continued to work.
Yeah.
And is all the work stuff I respect? No, but I respect myself because I have a family. I have kids that have to go through school. I've got people to feed. I have a wife to take care of. And I have to do, people are always saying, well, I read this script and I don't know, I couldn't do it. And so I was deciding which show I wanted to do. I've never been in that position. Somebody brings it, generally I do it. So I'm proud of myself because I remain floating, and I found a way to do stuff that I could make myself respect the work, my work, with the best you get into these jobs and you realize, they don't have the normal crew, they don't have anything, and you're realizing, we're just getting pages right now. But to make these things work and to have them actually come out like something somebody would watch, it just takes a skill. And it's one thing that after all these years I've learned: just figure it out.
What works?
Get in there, know who you are, know what your character is, know what you need, and at this point, I'm not afraid to open my mouth and say, I think it's better if we do this. And sometimes people listen.
We are talking to the impossibly handsome Ted McGinley. Apple TV's shrinking. It is season 3 coming, but you've Harrison Ford, Jason Segel. It's a tremendous cast. You mentioned Gigi. Oh God, there's Harrison Ford. He's
I smile every time I see those two. They're so amazing, and I cannot believe that I go to work and get to work with them.
Is Harrison getting an Emmy? Does he get an Emmy this year? Do we think
this is his year? If he's going to get one,
comedy. Comedy. I mean, this guy, he's not known to be that funny.
I can't imagine he doesn't win. He deserves it. He's wonderful. It's way off what the norm is for Harrison.
Yeah.
The character that we all know him as is this heroic, brilliant man that steps into these different roles. This is a guy who is fallible and so human, and it's so beautiful to watch him go through it. God, I love it.
I think it might be his year. It's
I hope so.
I think there's going to be a lot of love in the room and within the Academy for him.
If I were a betting man, I'd put my money on Harrison.
Harrison Ford. I would definitely not put put my money on him.
Or Michael Urie, for that matter.
Michael Urie also. Oof. If you're Michael Urie, you don't want to win. If you're Michael Urie, you don't want to be the guy that's like Harrison. I'm so sorry. It was me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gigi, your wife of 34 years. Wow. I mean, talk about the ups and downs of an actor's life. She's an actress as well, but also a brilliant artist. How important is Gigi in the foundation of your life? Because you can get a job and lose a job or whatever, but That's your legacy.
Yeah, he put tears in my eyes. Can't even talk about my. I
Oh.
love my wife so much, and she is she's my breath. She's the one who taught me to respect the work. She's the one who, so many days, has said, just do it. Just do it. And when I say, no, I don't want to do it, she said, do it. Try it. Go for it. She's been such a backbone for me, and we're a great partnership. Our kids come first. Our families always come first. We put that in front of work no matter what, and that was our agreement. And we're proud of that. We're very proud of who our kids are, and that's kind of our Academy Awards. We're never going to get, any of those awards. Our kids are our awards. My wife might get one day, but that's it for us. And literally, Gigi is, she's everything, and she's just a great partner.
She's got a megawatt smile. I got to admit, it really is. Her smile, it's a showstopper. I got it. When was the first time that you saw that smile, and what did it do to the knees of Ted McGinley?
I had just done a movie with Burt Reynolds that Michael Crichton directed in Toronto, and opposite Teresa Russell. And Burt told me, he said, I got a theater down in Florida, down in Jupiter, Florida. He said, you should come down someday. And I thought, yeah, right, sure. 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from Burt in person saying, hey, I got a role for you. Come down. The great Ossie Davis and Joe Silver are going to be doing it. They've already said they'll do it, and I'm going to direct it. And I said, I'm in tomorrow. Tell me when.
Wow.
I fly in. Burt Reynolds picks me up at the airport in a white Cadillac with black windows, and the window comes down like, get in, kid. I get in the car. He takes me straight to the theater. And the apprenti of the theater are going to have a show that night. And he says, I got one girl here who can sing, dance, and act her ass off. She's amazing. I walk in, I saw the one girl go across stage, and I just said, oh God.
Wow.
Who is that? And that was it. The next day, we started rehearsals for our show. And it was a 2-week rehearsal period. And I never talked to her once. I was trying not to be that guy. And on opening night, she sent me a card and said, would you enjoy a bottle of champagne with me after the show?
Whoa.
And that was it. We were never apart after that, ever.
She invited you for the bottle of champagne. Had she not had the fortitude, had she not had the guts to come forward, might that have been a ship passing in the night? Is that possible?
Yes.
Chicken.
The truth is, I like to say that at some point my instincts and my intelligence would finally kick in, and I would, after a 1-month run of the show, I would have at some point started speaking with her. And had a real conversation, and then I would have fallen in love. I mean, the first time we spoke, that was it. I knew it then. And it was actually the night before, it was the day of opening night. And I was going for a run on Highway A1A, and she was coming up to wash the laundry of the star who was doing the show at the time, because the apprentices had to do everything. And so she stopped and pulled over, and we talked for about 15 minutes. And I said, oh my God, I think I'm in love. And then we went out that night and we fell in love.
Wow.
Yeah.
First date, like totally falling deeper, that feeling.
Yeah. And then I had to leave because the show was up, and she was going to remain for another 3 months or so of her apprenticeship, 4 months. And so I was going out the door, and she said, so hang on one sec. Are we exclusive or?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we're exclusive. And that was it.
She's got other actors to choose from in Jupiter, Florida.
Oh my God.
You've got actresses to choose from in Hollywood. Let's not forget, Dynasty and The Love Boat and all where you come from. She knows you, Heather Locklear, Heather Thomas, all the and handsome Ted McGinley. I mean, she must have. So you assured her, that's it. It's
Well,
just you.
yes, and and I'm a man of my word, but that was the best thing. That was the best question, most important question I've ever been asked.
Oh, wow.
Because we stayed together, and we've been through a lot. Whenever you travel, like there was a period of time where I went to New York every week. I did a show with Kelly Ripa and Faith Ford
Yeah.
in New York, and I had to go. I flew out on a red eye in the back of JetBlue Sunday night. I would get to New York City at 7 a.m, and I would walk from my apartment to the studio up on Columbus. And I was on like First Avenue. So in the 50s, low 50s. So I had to walk all the way up there. And by the time I got there, I was hoping I'd be awake enough to go to work. And then I would work all week. We filmed late Friday night, and I had a 5:30, 5 a.m. pickup to go back to LA. For 3 years I did that. And it was that was a really hard time for all of us.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I am now only thinking about you going, she's saying, are we exclusive? Maybe she was worried, with all those beautiful actresses you had worked with that, about you going back, but then you're also leaving her with Burt Reynolds. So
So if you watch, Burt really liked Gigi.
Oh, I bet he did.
If you watch we did a bunch of, there was a period of time where they had like this wheel of movies of the week. And I did a show with Burt called B.L. Stryker. And he was like a rich guy who had a Ferrari, wanted to be, Magnum PI, but had no skills, didn't know anything. And so he would sort of tag along with Burt Reynolds. But Gigi had done a couple episodes, and in every episode he had to kiss her.
Oh,
And so every movie, every show, listen, Burt was one of our most, if it weren't for Burt, we wouldn't be together. So we love Burt, but he would always have a scene in whatever show he did with her where he had to kiss her. He loved Gigi.
he had to kiss her. You say, "Get Jesus, Bert. Does it really call for?"
Yes.
We're at a
Yeah, if it
funeral,
didn't, he
Bert.
wrote
We're at
it
a
in.
funeral here.
Yeah.
I can't see how this is appropriate. Well, people grieve in different ways, Ted.
Yeah. But he was. If it wasn't for Burt Reynolds, we would not be together.
Oh my God! I'm sure there are people out there that say, if it weren't for Burt Reynolds, I never would have gotten divorced. But forget about it. He was an icon. We love it. One of the most famous mustaches.
Which, by the way, I shaved off on Evening Shade. An episode of Evening Shade, I literally shaved off his mustache.
You must have felt like this is a sacrilegious. This is blasphemous what you're doing when you're shaving that.
It was,
Iconic.
There's no one better than me to do that. I loved every second of it.
Give me the top 3 mustaches in Hollywood history. Do you throw Selleck in there?
Yes. Clark Gable,
Yeah.
Selleck.
And if you want to go sheer volume, Wilford Brimley. If you want to go just sheer volume.
Yeah. And Kurt Russell can grow a gnarly mustache.
Really?
Yeah. He's got a great beard and mustache. I think Kurt is one of the, I love Kurt Russell.
Let's stick on follicles for a second. You have really held your hair, and how grateful are you for the fact that you have follicular fortitude?
I am. I'm extremely grateful. I'm getting grayer and grayer by the day, and nothing I can do about it. So, whatever. I take no credit for it. It has nothing to do with me. I have no idea why but it is. Everybody who cuts my hair says, "Wow, you got great hair."
Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, it's one of the greats. But in the early days, I wanted to know: did the directors, always say, "Ted, we need you to keep that dye job," because you had the blonde dye job in everything.
It started with Gary Marshall on Happy Days, and Gary said, and by the way, I had just come from the pool, so my hair was still blonde. I had very blonde hair through college. And Gary said, I need everybody here has got dark hair. I need you to have some light hair. And that was it. So I went in and started getting my hair lightened, which they paid for. I'll never forget it. It cost $250.
Yeah.
I was a house payment for me. I couldn't believe it that people paid that for. So the studio paid for it. They did my hair, and then that was it. When I got to Love Boat, I said I don't want to do it anymore. I never did it after it started to grow out. Maybe I don't remember if I did it the first season if they wanted it blonde, but after that, that was it.
Oh, Jesus. Here's the iconic photo on the Love Boat. There's Hulk Hogan right there. That's Bruce Jenner at the time.
Yeah.
Now Caitlyn at the bottom there, down by the boy shorts.
I did an issue of GQ with Bruce Jenner. It was all jocks, and it was all sports themed. And that was right when I was still playing water polo. I was doing some modeling. Bruce Weber shot it. And I remember Jenner on the cover. Bruce was a freaking stud.
Totally.
Yeah.
Still, and an unbelievable golfer.
Yeah, no kidding.
Explain this photo, because if you Google Ted McGinley, this photo comes up every single time. The onesie, it's some kind of circus performance. What is this?
Yes. So it's so funny. In the fire, someone asked me if I still had the costume. It was up in our attic. And I ran up and I was, we're trying to go through and see what we had in the attic and grab stuff. This is days after the fire. This is a month after the fire, but that costume unfortunately survived.
Can you still get in it?
That was from Circus of the Stars. And at the time I was Brooke Shields and I were very good friends. And Brooke's mom had said, Brooke's going to do Circus of the Stars. You guys could hang out if you decide to do Circus of the Stars. Now, I came in with 2 weeks left before they filmed it. Most people started 3 months or 2 months before. And I had an act that 7 people in the world could do. And it was off this, I had to swing off of a rope high in the air and do these tricks. And it was insane. Anyway, so I went there and it was kind of to spend time with Brooke. And then she ended up going back to New York. I never saw her again. And I was putting my life in danger every day. And then when they actually aired the show, they pulled my act for Bob Newhart's dog routine.
What?
Yeah, and they didn't tell me. So it was the first time, it was my first thing ever. I told everybody, we got to watch this show, and it wasn't on. And that was a great lesson for me in Hollywood, that, nothing's done until it's done.
Until it airs. So Circus with the Stars is kind of it was a network special before a Dancing with the Stars. It was It was.
And they would have different actors. I think they finally ended it when one of the actors got injured in the lion's cage. You go in there and train the lions or the tigers, and somebody got.
Like the great Gunther Gable Williams,
yeah,
who would come out from the Barnum and Bailey, He would support to the tiger.
Yeah, very good, but it was not funny. Not funny. Yeah.
He gave birth to Siegfried, and then there was Siegfried and Roy, and
V. Gates.
You did Dancing with the Stars. You were on the same season as Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
Wow.
I have some very nice pictures of Kim. Personal. I thought Kim was adorable.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who she was. I knew who her dad was, of course. Anyway, I just thought she was absolutely adorable. She was extremely shy. But I didn't know who she was. Anyway, that was, and no one knew who I was. So that was great. But I was second to last place on the show. And the only reason I wasn't last place is because Jeff Ross scratched his cornea in the rehearsal before he scratched his cornea in the dress rehearsal. How? And he's trying to debate whether or not he should, because they record the rehearsal. Sorry, I keep showing my rope, but I like to tie knots. It's my nervous hobby. So Jeff scratched his cornea and was trying to decide should he go on do the final show or let them just show the rehearsal. And I said, Jeff, you gotta go. I mean, you gotta get out there. Who knows what that rehearsal was like?
He ran into the piano.
And he was the first to go, and then I was second.
Oh,
it was brutal. I had a lot of fun doing the show.
Gigi, your wife, a lovely dancer. Ted McGinley, 2 left feet, baby.
Okay, so my wife can literally pick that dance up that took me, 3 weeks to learn. She can get it in 5 seconds.
Sure.
I'm gonna record it, and we're gonna come home, and I can practice with her. She gets a job, Army Wives, in Atlanta. So she leaves. And that's it. Now I'm stuck. Now I'm sitting there thinking, I don't even know what the show is, by the way. I didn't know what I was getting into. I'd never seen I hadn't seen any of it. But I thought I was exactly what you would want on that show. If you really want to, it's more interesting, in my opinion, to watch a guy like me who really can't dance.
Right.
Has never done choreography. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah.
As opposed to guys. There are a lot of guys.
Lance Bass was on there. And I'm even going to say Warren Sapp, the great defensive end from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That guy's twinkle toes out there. Even he had moves.
Well,
Brooke Burke won your season.
His partner was great because she did things like have him jump in the air and do things that made it. It was like if you see a huge guy like that jump it's amazing, right? You're like, oh my God, he's phenomenal. But Warren was great. And the truth is, I just wasn't very good.
I always think of when the earliest season, I think it was the first or the second, I always thought, he's a great actor. He's going to sell it like John O'Hurley. John O'Hurley, Peterman from Seinfeld. He used to distract him with the hands.
Yeah.
Keep the hands up here and all the facial expressions. Don't look at my feet.
Yeah, you're right. And I don't know if I got far enough for that. But also, a lot happens after the first 2. Then you begin to, it's sort of repetitive. At some point, there's some steps you learn. But, my poor partner, Ina Breyer, who was, she was an American champion, and she was never seen again on that show. And I think I ruined her poor career, and I felt guilty because she was so amazing.
You ended 2 dancing careers in a very short period.
And one should have been ended, but the other one, not so much.
Oh, my God. Ted, I have to ask, back in the day, before you got married to your lovely wife, I look at the roster of ladies that you worked with, from Connie Salica and Heather Thomas and Heather Locklear, and you mentioned Brooke Shields, so I know you dated Brooke Shields. Did you date any of the other co-stars? Did you date a Heather or a Heather?
No, I'll tell you, I got into Dynasty right the week that Heather married Tommy Lee. So, and I got to go see Motley Crue in the studio twice with Heather, and that was pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, if you're gonna get together with Heather, you don't go after Tommy Lee. You go first, and that's.
Some of us do, but yeah, you're right.
McGinley sticks the landing he couldn't on Dancing with the Stars.
No, you're 100% correct on that. And Heather was so much fun. She was a real guy's girl. She was a gas to be around. She was so lovely.
Oh God,
Catherine
everything she did.
I was in a love triangle when I first got to Dynasty between Catherine Oxenberg and Heather Locklear. Oh. And so I would go to work every day, and I would generally just be in bed with one of them. It was the greatest job of my life at that point. It was super fun. I knew Catherine. She'd been on a cruise on the Love Boat with us. So we were very good friends, had a lot of fun together. And I mean, that was a pretty cool job.
Holy shit, I love Don. I mean, just, I was doing a little of the dye job, not dye job, but the gray washout thing. And then I said, you know what? I'm letting it go gray. And boy, is it catching up, making up for lost time. But
the one that you have right in the front there. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, this right here. But I think once it all goes, I have a chance with the volume here to be a Blake Carrington. Now, that was the greatest. John Forsythe with the greatest head of hair in history.
Yeah. And by the way, what a great guy. What a great guy. And you could play that 100%.
I think so. Absolutely.
How's your tennis game? Are you a tennis player?
I'm a pickleball player. I'm a tennis player. Anything with a paddle or a racket.
Right.
I love it.
I grew up in the water. I have no skills outside of the water.
A great water polo play for USC, for the USC Trojans, right?
Yeah, the mighty Trojans.
My God, handsome Ted McGinley rising out of the water, doing the butter churner to get himself about 4 feet out, and then wham!
Yes, that's it, exactly. The egg beater.
The egg beater, that's what not the butter churner. The egg beater.
Yeah.
Can you still do the egg beater? Can you get yourself up out of the water?
I can't get out of the water anymore.
2 inches?
But I can get up for a second. The whole idea is you get your hips up really high, so your butt's up on the water, and then you raise up like that.
Wow, it's incredible. It's like you're trained like a human dolphin getting out of the water like that.
And seriously, my claim to fame in the day was that I could go forever. I mean, I didn't get tired. I was in really good shape at that period of my life. I didn't know it. I didn't realize the investment that I put into my health at that point. And at some point you're like, I'm done. What a mistake.
Wow. Unbelievable. Ted McGinley. Is it as much fun now as it was in those unbelievable days of those massive 25 million people a night shows like Dynasty and The Love Boat? And I used to stay home from school when the Love Boat went daytime. I used to lie to my mom and say I was sick and fake it so I could watch the Love Boat reruns during the daytime.
I didn't even know the Love Boat went daytime.
Reruns. They took all the reruns. They made it all. Oh God.
Yeah.
That's where I got it. Yeah.
So by far, not even comparable, more fun for me today, because I came into this thing with no training. Like I had no idea what I was doing. So I felt I went from zero to all of a sudden I was on Happy Days with Henry Winkler, Marion Ross, Tony Winter, Tom Bosley. I didn't belong there. And so I always felt I was smart enough to know that I was way out over my skis and I needed to sit around and really I need to figure this thing out. So I used to just sit around. The one thing I always tell young kids when they come on a set now, put your phone down.
Yeah.
Stay on the set and just watch and just listen. And when it's time to go to your dressing room, don't. Stay there and just be on the set. That's where you learn. That's where you watch. And so when I was doing Happy Days, that's what I did. I would just go in the audience and sit, up in the stands when there's no audience and just watch. And then I would go watch Mork and Mindy. And I would go from show to show and sit in the audience. And this is in the stands, I should say, where the audience would be. And I would just watch. And that was the most valuable thing I ever did.
Oh, my God. Well, I got to say, Ted, I want you to have the best time at the Emmys with your beautiful wife, Gigi. This is a great man, a great actor, an unbelievable husband. Have a ball and take that woman out and show her that you can dance when this thing is over. I want you.
Oh, she knows I can't. She steals the show no matter where we go. I can't wait to see. I can't wait. I'll tell you a funny story. So when you go to the Emmys, I'm not actually nominated. The show is nominated, of which I'm on. But if you're not one of the nominees, you have to buy a ticket for your wife, or you don't take them. And I was like, well, no wonder everybody's divorced. I'm taking my wife. And by the way, I want to sit with her, for God's sakes. Is that okay? Yes. So I'm excited to be with Gigi because she's going to steal the show for me.
Yeah.
But it's fun for us because we don't get to do the Hollywood thing very much. So we're going to play Hollywood for 3 days and then we'll go back to our real life.
People are hearing this.
We're living on the floor right now of our son's. We live on the floor of our son's house.
Oh,
since the fire.
well, that's it. The LA fires. I mean, this is, Ted and I always friends, but became pretty tight the day after the fires ravaged the Palisades. Ted and I got together. I had a press pass. My press pass allowed me to drive up into the Palisades because I had been covering it there. And so Ted dropped me a text and he said, "Hey, is there any way you can help me check on my house?" And I was going up. And so we jumped in together. And Ted came with me, and this is us driving through on January 8th, the devastation in your community. I mean, you remember that day, Ted? I mean, we'll never forget it.
I'll never forget it. And that fireman saying, "Doesn't matter if we have all the water pressure in the world, we're not putting that house out." When he walked by me, that was the only fireman you remember. By the way, more gracious than that, Billy, was that you actually texted me and said, "Can I help you? Can I get you up there?" And it was so generous, and I couldn't wait.
There you are. There's you, Ted, right there. You're up with that green mask or scarf you wore, and there you are filming your community. What a day! Oh my.
Yeah, you were heroic in allowing me to come in there with you, and you and I have many mutual friends that live up there, and we were going house to house of our friends, taking photos and sending it to them, saying, "Your house is still standing.
Yours is not.
Your house is getting close." And you remember we left that day about 5:30, and I thought 100% sure my house was gone, 100%. And we were staying with friends in Laguna, so we had to drive all the way back down. And came up again the next day. But that was a day and a time that I'll never forget, but also your kindness and patience while I ran into my house and grabbed some of my wife's paintings and some of my wife's mother's paintings. We tried to pack them into your car. There were 4 of us.
Yeah.
And you were just amazing. And I'll never forget that. And I'm always thankful for that. And that was one hell of a day.
Even in difficult times, we found a way to have a laugh. We're pushing your old collectible Porsches, your old vintage Porsche like that you had since college, and we're pushing it down the street, and we're trying to jumpstart it. And Ted's at the wheel, and we got you and Dr. Tim, our friend Dr. Tim, who's
Terry,
with
my
us.
buddy Terry.
Oh,
yeah.
Barry, we're pushing, and trying to jump in like a little further. I see a little. I mean, it was a complete clown show in the middle of disaster, but we got the cars to where we thought was a safe place, and then you sent me.
Sorry, I just want to interrupt. I'll tell you that a guy who does post-production on Shrinking lived across the street from where we parked one of the cars. And he went out, because remember, we put the covers on the car, and it was so windy.
Yeah.
And we tried to tie knots in the corners, and they blew off. He said as soon as we left, they blew off. He went through, because he was staying in his house during the fire.
Wow.
And he poked holes through my covers and took the Christmas ribbon from his wrappings and tied it around the bumper of my bumpers.
Wow.
And when I got into the Palisades a month later to get those cars, that ribbon was still holding down around the bumpers.
Wow.
And it was, I mean, the happenstance that someone I work with and who decided to stay took the time to do that. It was amazing.
There's always these little silver
linings. A very special bottle of whiskey that he's requested I'm going to deliver when I do my looping.
Well, you sent me this video, and this is we saw what was happening, on day 2 of that horrible fire, and then you sent me this video of the latest.
Oh yeah, this is today.
This is today. And look at they've done a good job of clearing the debris, but all those houses in a vibrant community, everybody these are all lots that are now just empty. Look at that.
It's so funny when I see that. It just kills me. Oh, God, we're so far from being anywhere near I mean, we're so far from being what we were. My wife and I are the honorary mayors of the Palisades.
Yes.
So Sunday, I was at an event at what we call Veterans Gardens, which there's 3 bocce courts there that the great Jimmy Dunn helped put up, and one of our residents. And they had like 250 people who are scattered around the city now, living in different spots, come back and start this bocce league.
Oh my
And
God.
what you realize is that a place like the Palisades, yes, it is. It's the churches and the schools and the buildings. But the truth is, it's the people. And it's this community that make up something like the Palisades. And they just inhabit those buildings and those houses. So if we can get that kind of, we're really hoping. I have no idea what it's going to become. But I know really well what it was. I lived there for 31 years. And so now it's just hope. And can we all kind of join together and make this happen? We have a lot of challenges. It's really slow.
I know the world moves on. We all see these different communities. We see different terrible things happen in New Orleans or North Carolina, and then people watched on television the city of Los Angeles. I mean, burning. Now that one hard to get out of your mind, but we lived it.
By the way, I work in Altadena, so we work at Warner Brothers and Altadena. Derek's house is in Altadena. And so is Jimmy's house. So is Jason's house. So
from Shrinking, that's where you shoot.
we had to wait for them to be cleaned before we could go in and start shooting. So we were way behind for a while this season, getting into Altadena. But so I would go from fire to fire.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll pour Altadena. Oh my God. I couldn't believe how devastated it was. It's so huge and so expansive. You can't imagine the damage there. And I feel for those people, but I'm just want to help in some way.
Yep. Ted, it's all gonna get better one step at a time because we're positive, relentless people. But you, sir, are gonna go have a wonderful time at the Emmys and enjoy with beautiful Gigi. And I thank you for the time, my friend. I love you.
Thank you. I love you, Billy. I do. Thank you so much for having me on. When I look at that picture on the bench and I look at that cast, I just can't believe I'm a part of that cast. I mean, honestly, I can't.
I can.
It's the greatest gig I've ever had, and I love those people.
Oh, God, I love Derek. Derek is the best. I mean, if there's a spinoff, it's just called Derek. Thank you, bud.
Please, God.
Yeah.
There won't be, but that's all right.
And happy early 45 years as a unbelievable actor in this business. That's incredible.
Just hanging on. Just hanging on.
See you, Ted. What a guy.
Thank you, Billy. Love you, bud.
The great Ted McGinley. Hot Mics with Billy Bush, presented by LA Golf. Today, take your swing to the next level with LA Golf's cutting-edge technology. Visit LAGolf.com. Upgrade your game, and you too can swing a golf club like Ted McGinley. What a beautiful swing he has. I've seen the man play golf. Thanks for watching, and we will see you back here on Monday. That's it for Hot Mics. Oh, make sure you catch us Monday through Thursday on Morning Mics. Okay? It's just a live YouTube chat. Anything you want to talk about. Anything. We are painfully honest. So, and fun and funny and loose. So we hope to see you there. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, Monday through Thursday on our YouTube channel at Hot Mics with Billy Bush. Ta-ta. Thanks for watching.